Well, hello, troopers, and welcome back to General Economics Bunker. Thank you so much for joining me here on another fine episode of The High Ground. Ooh, it feels like it's been a minute. Um, Feels good to be back. So, thank you again for um, joining me here on this fine Wednesday night. Can y'all hear me okay? The levels sound a little bit funky. Hopefully, y'all can hear me just fine. So, how's everybody doing? How is your first half of the week going? I hope that it's going well. I hope that you are getting plenty done. You're getting plenty of rest, plenty of water, by the way. Just because temps are starting to cool down doesn't mean you don't need to hydrate. So keep that in mind. Um, and yeah, thank you again. Short notice for tonight. I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to make it. Fortunately, here we are. We managed to pull through and scrounge up some time to go live here and chat with the Bunker Bunch. So, hope again that y'all are doing great. Um, so yeah, how's everybody doing? Feels like it's been a minute since we've talked. Um, and a few things have sort of popped up. It's been a couple weeks for me. It feels like this second half of the year has been a little bit nonstop, but yeah, things are excuse me, finally starting to cool down, which is great because I could definitely use a break. And a little bit of rest, a little bit of catching up with the content as well. Um, so yeah, I hope that you guys have been having um, great November. Can you believe that? We're in November already. We got less than 2 months left in 2025, which is crazy to say and a little bit scary. It's a little bit scary to say actually. But yeah, we um, we are here, kind of coming off the towards the end of the year. Sorry, I don't know what I did to my mic. That it's like all over the place and not in my usual spot, so it's throwing me off. Okay, we'll make do with this. Um, yeah. So like I was saying, it's been a rough couple weeks. It's been a rough couple months. It's been a rough second half of the year overall. Um, but here we are. Like I said, I'm glad that I managed to find some time to stream, and I hope everybody's doing great. I hope you guys are gearing up for what's our next big thing? Oh, Thanksgiving, of course, Thanksgiving. And speaking of, how was everybody's Halloween? I just realized we haven't talked since Halloween passed. So, which was not even a week ago, right? But how was everybody's Halloween? Did you all get a bunch of candy? Did you get a stomach ache? Did anybody discover they have diabetes? Beginning of November, it happens. It's okay. We're not alone. Cheers on that. Delicious. For us, it was chilled Halloween. It was good. We actually just went around the neighborhood for the first time. We usually go to other neighborhoods. This year, we kept it very local. Um, the kid was dressed up as SpongeBob. My wife was Sandy Cheeks, and I was a combination of Patrick and the Krabby Patty Mobile. Um, we were pretty popular, actually. People definitely recognized us. So I thought that was funny. More neighbors giving out candy than I thought they were going to, given everything that's happening, given people's finances right of late. Most people are not doing great, and so I thought we were definitely going to get less people giving out candy, but no, it was good. It was a good amount, and we were out. I don't know. We were actually, I think, like a solid maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, just trick or treating, which was great. I love Halloween. Also, huge shout out to the neighbor that had a cooler full of, well, not so full by the time we got there, but I do believe it started a full of adult beverages in a can, um, for the parents, user, or a gentleman, and a scholar. All right, and I thank you for your service because that was great. That definitely gave me my second win, when we were getting, and it happened like after like an hour and a half. But yeah, it was good. Like I said, very calm, very chilled. It was fine. Nothing super crazy about it, but also nothing bad. Which is at this point, I'll definitely take. So yeah, let me know how y'all's Halloween was. If you trick or treat, if you um, dressed up, in a costume. Let me know how it went. All right, so let me jump in here. It seems that Ultra Carter has been dominating the chat. Um, okay, so Ultra in the house, and Miss Nila's recent live to the point. I bet you wish you were there, even if it was brief. Ultra, I barely made it to my live stream here, so I'll catch the replay. Don't worry. Um, so Ultra with the pickup, a lot of pickups from eBay and from Ringside Collectibles. Good job. So hope you're doing good, Ultra. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But I hope you're doing better. We got Nerd Affiliate in the house. What is going on, Archer? Thanks so much for joining me, man. I saw you killing it out there earlier today. Don't remind me, yours almost over. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I really don't want to think about it. Ultra, say hi to Archer. Archer, say hi to Ultra. People came to us this year. The trick or treat in our neighborhood. Oh, nice. That's good. Did you set up the whole, haunted house type of experience? I missed those actually. Last year, like 3 of our neighbors did really good on that. This year, none. Literally none. So I was a little bit sad about that. Ultra finally watching Primitive War. All right, good job. Might have to check that out. We got Janine in the house. What is going on, Janine? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. It's good seeing you. How are y'all? Hey, Janine says Archer and Ultra. And we got OBP in the house saying hello there, everyone. What's going on, brother? Thank you so much for joining us, man. Gave you a shout out, by the way, in the last toy hunt video where I found Neil. I was like, I had basically given up on him, and you were kind enough to help me, procure one. But then randomly at like the busiest Ross in the city, I find Neil. So it was pretty crazy. Ultra saying hi to OBP. Janine saying hi to everybody. Archer says, not really. We had some stuff up, but I need to do better next year. I got some stuff at Spirit on clearance. Yeah, I did. So me and the kid went to Spirit on the 1st, so on Saturday. And there was a couple of things, but definitely not discounted, right? I think the first day is 25% off. There was a lot of people, but yeah, I know. I didn't really buy anything or even saw anything that made me think about going back the next day. At least, again, to the one that we went. We didn't go too many. Like I said, it's been a crazy last few days. But a buddy of mine here in the city did get that Darth Vader helmet from Spirit Halloween. I think he said he paid $50 for it, which is a freaking steal. It's really, really good. Janine says we had a ton, and they came during Spider-Man live stream. So at a table outside the courtyard with a nice help yourself sign. Nice. That's actually what we do now. And I gotta say, kids are still kind of respectful of it. I was, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I was surprised because we put out basically, a bucket, right, of candy, basically just, with a table on our porch because we went out trick or treating, but we were, uh, periodically passing by our house in the different loops that we were doing around the house, and candy was still there. I was like, dude, nobody has really. I'm sure they took more than one. That's fine, but I was like, nobody has really emptied it out, and it was a while. Like And then we came back. Once we were done trick or treating, we came back to the house and we put out some more candy for basically the stuff we didn't like, that we just picked out. I'm like, I'd rather put it back into circulation than just throw it away. And yeah, by that point, it was a bunch of teenagers mostly. But yeah, they were fine actually. They were respectful, saying please and thank you. I'm like, what is going on with the youth these days? Um, yeah, they were happy to get whatever we gave them, and I don't know. I just thought again, I was just kind of kind of surprised about it, which is good. Don't get me wrong, that's the way it should be. I just thought, kids when they saw just basically a free for all for candy, they'd be like, all right, well, I'm taking the whole bucket. But no, 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 they did pretty good. They did pretty good, and I'm glad for it. So I'm glad you guys had a chance to hand out candy. I kind of want to do more next year. I have a feeling that my kid is gonna ditch us already next year. He's 9, and he was hanging out with one of his friends this weekend, or this Halloween. And I don't know, man. I'm getting the feeling that yeah, it's coming soon. So it might be a thing where he goes trick or treating and he doesn't really want to go with us. So I might be the old grumpy guy, setting up, the haunted house, or dressing myself up into something to scare the kids, which sounds actually kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Archer says, "Yeah, I almost got the Vader and Stormtrooper. Ended up leaving them behind." I hear you. I hear you. They're not the absolute best by no means, but I mean, for $50, that's pretty decent. Even if it's just for decoration, of course. Janine says, "Chris at Spirit sells their displays. I think employees get first dibs." You know what? I heard that. When was it? Last year, I think. Somebody was telling me about it. But yeah, so when the kid and I went, basically all of the animatronics were disconnected, right? There was one that said, selling as is, it doesn't work. It didn't have a price, but I imagine it'd be, it wouldn't be a bad investment. Like, odds are it's probably, just a loose wire. So it might just be an easy fix, and if you can get it for $50 or something, that'd be pretty sweet to display, the next Halloween. We actually had a pretty good display though, if I do say so myself, here at the house. We had like two giant dragon, balloons that were like the archway, the entry to the house. We have a giant spider web. We had a pumpkin. We had a vampire cow. Don't ask me. We had a vampire cow. We had an alien ship. Yeah, we did pretty good actually this time around. We did. Oh, we have 3 skeletons representing our family members. Um, yeah, actually we did pretty good this year. We got a neighbor a few houses down that goes all out. Basically, the layout on his porch or on his front yard, he's got several, like maybe like 3, maybe 4 trees that are kind of like close to each other at the trunk, and then so it kind of forms like a little, almost like a cage, right, of trees. And inside he puts this giant werewolf animatronic every year, or at least for the past 3 years. And it looks dope. He does really good. Like, he uses that space that's already there very, very well. um Janine says, "I saw a guy on Facebook who bought the whole subway train display." Dang, that's crazy. That is commitment right there. Where'd you even put it? I mean, you had to take it apart, right? So maybe storage, and figure it out, next year. That's a good problem to have, though. That actually, you know what? That one would be kind of cool for like a little house experience. You could put that up in the front porch, um, and kind of set it up, so that the kids can run through there. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Actually, it'd be kind of cool. But yeah, how how good or how bad did you do with candies this year? I actually did pretty good, but not because I wanted to, just because they only gave us 3 almond joys, and those are my jam. All right, those I really like those. But Yeah, people don't give those out apparently. So I was both disappointed and thankful, I guess, because I really shouldn't be eating that stuff. But yeah, I was like, huh, we need to increase here the almond joy representation. Marta in the house saying hi, welcome, welcome. Jose doing the same. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Janine saying hi to Marta. $400 says Janine. That's not bad. I mean, for the size of that thing, that's really not bad. If I remember correctly, it had some electronics in it, and he had that telephone that you pick up and you hear different phrases. The kid was doing that every time we went there. So yeah, I mean, $400. I mean, it's not pocket change, but it for a huge display like that, that's not bad. I would have bought the subway card. Yes, why would have had me live in it? There you go. There you go. So, very, very, very recent development. Literally, as of 3 hours ago, I actually got the Home Depot R2D2. Yay! Um, I will be honest with y'all. I thought I wasn't gonna get it, or not. Not soon, because it kind of just flew off. Right. It came up online and then it was gone like quick. But um, thanks to the help of Daniel from the Legacy of Nerd, he hit me up saying that they had him here at our very local Home Depot, which is it's like 8 minutes away. So I I'll be honest, I hesitated for a little bit, for like 2 minutes, and then I was like, who am I kidding? I want it. So yeah, I went ahead and grabbed it. If you haven't, check out my Instagram. Wow, I don't know where that came from. Take two. If you haven't, please go check out my Instagram post. I took a picture of it, in the garage. So yeah, we got ourselves what would we call those? I know like animatronic, but can we call them holiday animatronics? I guess. Um, R2D2. So pretty excited about that. And like I said, especially because I was kind of already, I kind of had half given up, on it. I didn't think I was gonna get one, but we did, and so yeah, that was an expense I wasn't planning on, today for sure, but I had to jump on it. Again, they've been very popular, or at least here. I don't know how it's been in your area. Let me know if they just been shelf warming. I don't think so, because again, online they sold very quickly. I'm sure they'll do a restock, soon-ish, but initially, yeah, they just kind of flew out. So yeah, let me know if locally have you seen him, and then the next time that you go to that same Home Depot, do they still have them? I'm curious. So we got a couple of people joining here on the chat, and again, guys, I really appreciate y'all showing up. Like I said, it's been a crazy couple weeks, and I really didn't think I was gonna have a chance to talk to you all this week. So I'm very glad that it this worked out. Therefore, sorry about the short notice and the later start time, but that was the only way I could sort of, make it work. Let's see. So we have Chris from the Man Collects. What's up, Bunker Bunch? He says, "What is going on, dude? Thank you so much for joining us here." Um, Chris, dude, yeah, you're pretty much on the Mount Rushmore of toy hunting at this point, man. I'm so glad that your channel is still doing great. I'm so glad that you're still, pumping out content like you have, and I'm really, really happy, man. Really, really happy to see the growth that you've had this year. It's been insane, but very well deserved. So your consistency and the quality of your videos, definitely speak volumes, and the numbers. I'm glad that the numbers are reflecting it. Um, because sometimes it doesn't happen, and it's kind of you know you, you definitely get tired, right, of putting out the effort. um But I'm really glad, dude, to see your channel, blow up like it has. And again, it's just part of your, or it's just product of your hard work. So congrats. Yes, says Janine. Ultra saying hi to the man collects. Congrats, says Archer. Thank you, thank you. Um, hey, TMC says Archer. Hello, Ultra Archer. Hey, Janine, Martha, Chris, Nerdflit, and Ultra says OVP. How much was it at retail? With taxes, it was like 320, yeah, 320 and three, something like that, 324, somewhere on there. Yeah, it was about. I think retail is $300 plus tax, right? Hoping to get her to, yeah, dude. Like I said, I just kind of had given up, man. I was like, dude, it's really popular. It's really popular. My Home Depot sucks normally, and lately I just haven't had the time, just to be online as much as before. So I was like, I'll probably miss the restock. I was like, that's my last chance. Whenever they restock online, I gotta be on it. Um, or just tell two or three people that I trust with money to be like, hey, if you see it, order it, right? Here's my address, and if you don't mind, put it on your credit card, right? And I'll send you the money. But yeah, it worked out, great. Like I said, it's I think they were just gonna put them out, to be honest, because they were not on the floor. All right, yeah, they were not on the floor. Is all I'll say. But they're out there, guys. They're out there. So keep checking, keep asking. Ask them to check the back. All right, ask them to check the back. And if I'm being honest with you, ask a couple of people, within Home Depot to check the back. That was kind of, yeah, that was kind of the way to go. I think R2 is 299. Yes, sir. Janine saying hi, Chris. The man collects says, thank you, General. Much appreciated. I had to keep up with the other YouTube celebs. I just, dude, I don't know what you're talking about, brother, about keeping up. You've gone way past, uh, my viewership is what I think that's the right word. Um, anyway, you're doing better than me at YouTube is what I'm trying to say. And again, that's awesome, man, because you've been super, super constant and super involved. So that's the way it should be. Congratulations on the R2. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Man says, hey, Janina, hope you and Scott are doing well. OVP, hello, good sir. Yeah, Janina, saw about, when was that? Yesterday or 2 days ago by now? I apologize. The days blurred together. Um, about y'all, going back to the doctor and stuff. So I hope that y'all are doing a lot better. We're good. Crazy cover Scott this week, but he's stabilizing again. Yeah, that's good. That's good to know. Tell him, we're keeping him in our thoughts constantly. And yeah, guys, sending you a big hug. Um, yeah, Janine, I cannot stress enough how much I don't know what the right word is, but respect, admiration, I guess I have for you, because it's definitely not an easy task. It is a constant level of stress, right? And everything that comes along with that, just being tired and just being on edge, like daily. So my heads off to you. Scott is an incredibly lucky person to have you by his side. So again, sending you a big hug to both of y'all, and I hope that things start to definitely pick up. Um, but yeah, guys. So what have you guys picked up lately? I picked up Neo. Here we go. I picked up Neo at Ross. Super rando. This was the only. I went to four. I went to four different Rosses for the toy hunt. I really only recorded at two, and that's something that I posted there on the video, asking for feedback, because I'll be honest with you, in that span, I went to my home base, Ross, 3 times. And basically 2 out of those times, or well, really three, um, it was basically the same. So I'm like, well, I don't want to just film just for the sake of filming, because then you guys are gonna get bored, right? And then you're just not gonna watch the next one. And so I filmed the first time, or maybe the second time. I don't even remember now the order. And then I'm like, man, there's not much, so I didn't film the next time around. Then I went to another one, and I filmed there, but didn't really find much. And then I didn't film at this one because I'm like, dude, this is like the one that's always picked over like really bad. It's inside a mall, right? So there's a bunch of traffic there, like a bunch of people always there. So I was like, why even bother? Um, but I was with the kid, and I was like, you know what? Let's take 2 minutes real quick. We were gonna go out to eat, and the kid was hungry, so I was like, all right, let's just run in, and then we'll leave. And so we went in, and I'm like, dude, this is really bad. Like, there's nothing here. I was like, all right, let's just leave. And then, sure enough, like tucked in, like in between a few figures, was this guy. I was like, dang it. So I grabbed a quick clip of me, just basically, grabbing him. And the kid was like, can we, like, as he's like, I'm hungry. I was like, no, I hear you, kid. Like, we're leaving. So the one Ross I did actually picked up something, I didn't really film. But it's fine. We got him, and I didn't think I was gonna get him. I mentioned that in the video too, and that's why Pete was actually kind enough to help me get one of these a while back, actually. And so, but again, I found it, and I was like, you know what? For $8, I can't leave this little guy behind. Look at that face. Could you leave that beautiful face behind? No, no, you couldn't. So yeah, this has been the most recent pickup for me. I'm still hunting that helmet. I'm still hunting. Actually, no, I take that back. The R2D2 is technically the most recent pickup because that's like 3 hours ago. But regarding the toy hunting, I'm still looking for the helmet, and I'm still looking for the lightsaber. And I think some of y'all have already found it, so I'm kind of hoping it makes my way. Let's see. Where is it? Here. Pete saying, Janine, good to hear Scott is doing better. Yeah, absolutely. I will. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Boo, Neil. My episode back 2-pack came in. Dude, I saw that. Yeah, no window. Remind me, is that a flap? Like a book open packaging? I don't remember if it is or not on that one. It's a good set. I got to see it live, displayed at SDCC. It looks good. I really do like the scenery. That one I'm gonna be hunting for a cheaper deal. Um, the one that I was also kind of on the fence about was the Palpatine and Mace Windu, but it's a good set. I'm not super on board with the price, but it's a good set overall. The figures are pretty good. Palpatine, yes, the soft goods could definitely be better. But overall, I think it's good. Janine says he's cute. I'd rather buy Sammy Guevara in the match or Neil. Well, yeah, but you don't like Skeleton Crew, so you'll probably want to buy 1,000 things before you buy Neil. OEP says, my wife found Sabine's lightsaber. Yeah, I know. I saw that. Got very lucky because I don't think any of the other Ross in my area got him. No, dude, that is crazy. That's definitely the score of the year, for people have been finding those helmets and those lightsabers. That was awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Nope. Just have to open on the top. One of my followers found Sabine's helmet, but only one. Haven't seen it yet. Yeah, dude, same. I haven't heard of anybody locally here to San Antonio that has found it. If anybody knows, or anybody follows another hunter, here in San Antonio, first of all, how dare you? How dare you, be disloyal to me like that? But second, if you have seen that, they found him, let me know. I'm curious to see if anybody here in San Antonio has found the lightsaber and the helmet. The only big score that I personally know of is again Daniel found the Batwing a few weeks back at the home base Ross. Actually, he lives kind of close to us too, or us to him, whichever way you want to see it. But yeah, it's it's a I mean, it was a good score, but I haven't seen anything regarding the lightsaber or the helmet. So let me know if anybody knows here in San Antonio that has found it. Hey, speaking of San Antonio, we got my man. What's going on, brother? Big John in the house, my boy. I see we did R2 still. Yeah, dude. Literally just like 3 hours ago, I was just telling the Bunker Bunch here. Oh, also, I just saw your post. Actually, let me pull it up. It's gonna be easier if I just show everybody on Facebook, and then we are gonna go searching. If I can find the search button, why would they move it? Okay, Big John, Geek Customs, and here we go. Okay, let me share this real quick. If I remember how to do this. All right, so my good friend, Big John, local. What could I call you, man? Builder. You know, he builds armor, he builds helmets, he builds blasters. He does great work. So Big John from Big John's Geek Custom is bringing back ForceCon for next year, 2026. Now that's planning. All right, that is planning because my man, you know, is announcing this 7 months in advance. Crazy. So if you guys are here in the San Antonio area, make sure to check out ForceCon. It's gonna be at the Wonderland. Wonderland. Oh my lord, I can't even talk. Let's do a retake. If you're here at the San Antonio area, please check out ForceCon 2026, May 16 and 17 at Wonderland Mall here in San Antonio, Balcones Heights. You know the place. Come on, you know where Wonderland is. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a great event. It's gonna be a local event, so go out there, support, you know, the local Star Wars community. Spoiler alert, maybe I'm jumping the gun here, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be out there. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be out there, unless something weird happens in the next 7 months, for those dates. But I should be out there. All right, I definitely should. Gotta show some love, to our local Star Wars event. So, ForceCon 2026, there it is, and make sure that you are following Big John's Geek Customs over on Facebook, which the landing page looks like that. All right. And did you put some of your last? Who's that handsome devil? And me. So Big John was out there at Spacecon, doing great. Had some awesome stuff. Did you put some of your merch here? You're just taking selfies, bro. All right, but anyway, my point is that here we go. Thank you. I knew you had posted something. So that's just some of the creations for Big John. If you all, are in need of helmets, blasters, and things like that, make sure you hit him up. Big John's Geek Customs. Again, check him out over here on Facebook. Make sure that you're following him. And once again, if you are in the San Antonio area, or if you don't know anybody, you got family, you got friends, you got cousins, that live here or around here, let them know for next year. We got ForceCon 2026, May 16 and 17 at the Wonderland of the Americas Mall. All right. Excited about that one, man. We need more. We need more Star Wars events here locally, man. We don't have enough purely, Star Wars events. So looking forward to it. No flap. Dang it. Oh, that's what you meant. I'm sorry. I'm not awake, dude. No, just have to open on the top. So it's just a box, basically. No flap. Yeah, man, missed opportunity. I mean, just cut it in half, really. Just cut it in half, do the little hinges. That's it. It's going to look dope. OBP says, you got to find out what time your Ross does restocks. At least in my area, lots of scalpers. Yeah, dude. So it's funny you mentioned that because As I mentioned, this last toy hunt video, which is up on the channel, by the way, go ahead and show it some love. Thank you. Um, Dude, literally every time I went to Ross, any Ross at any time, because I like to tell you that I go there when they open. I can't, I got meetings and stuff like that. But I think the earliest I went was like 10 a.m. and there was literally two guys walking in front of me. And as soon as I saw them, and they were separate, right? Like they were not with each other. I mean, as soon as I saw them, I'm like, dude, these dudes they're hunting. All right. Like you can tell, right? You can tell. It also doesn't help that one of them look very similar to me. That poor man. Poor man. Anyway, but the point is that, you see the profile. Sure enough, they didn't even stop. They made a beeline, straight to the toys. And they were, rummaging through the shelves and stuff. Not rummaging, but searching like behind stuff. And I was like, yeah, for sure. And then at basically every other Ross that I went, there was at least one other hunter like on the spot, which you know, it's it it's not my Ross, right? Like I don't own it. Um, but I'm like, dude, I gotta fight for territory now, So that's why I tell you guys try to go to your Ross as much as you can. Um, Honestly, right now, I would say if you can afford to go daily, try to go daily. If you can afford to go more than once during the day, do it. Like honestly, it's worth it. They're putting out some good stuff. Thank you, brothers. It's Big Chan. Nah, man, thank you again for putting that together. It's gonna be fun. Hey, what is going on, Michelle? Welcome, welcome. Hello, friends. He says, good to see you, Michelle. Hello, Michelle says Pete. Hello, Pete says Michelle. Michelle says Joseph Neil fine. Oh yeah, I was just showing this guy. Literally at the most, um, at the unlikeliest Ross. That's where I found him. Especially because these have been out for a while, at Ross. I would say even before like RossCon officially started, they were already out, a month or two ago. Never saw him. And again, Neil, I actually never saw in stores like normally. Somebody I think said me that they had found it, but I was like, I don't know, $27. I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll wait. Um, but yeah, so lucky that I actually found this one. I just hit something. Big John says, dude, I'm excited about Ahsoka. What do you think about the show and the cast change for Balin? Well, I mean, they had to change Balin, right? There was no option, and especially because Filoni said that he is integral for season 2. So it is what it is. I think he's gonna do a great job, to be honest. Anybody that they would pick, has a very very tough job. So if I'm being honest with you, I don't know that there are many actors that could do, what Ray Stevenson did for Balin. Um, but I think Rory's gonna do fine. I think he's gonna do just fine. And they were friends, so I know that he would like that. Izzy, what's going on, man? Says, hey everyone, welcome, brother. Good to see you, man. Hey, Iz says, OBP. Whoa, Big John says, bro, I saw hunters at spirit stores too, bro. They were after those helmets. Oh, you picked up that helmet. I remember now. I said it at the beginning of the show. I was like, a buddy of mine, like somebody picked it up. It was you. I remember now. You picked up the Vader helmet for $50, right? $50, right? I think that's what you said. Yeah, dude, I believe it. Again, at $50, that's a pretty good deal, for a helmet. OBP says easy. What helmets were at Spirits? I haven't been in one in a while. Let me see if I can find a picture because they were pretty good. I don't know. I forget who makes them though. Um, but they came in a nice box and everything. Mm-hmm. Oh, these are not great pictures. TBH. And that's like from them. Hmm. So this is from Spirit Halloween, but they need to take better pictures of their products. This looks horrendous. I'll be honest with you, the helmet didn't look this bad at at the store. I did see it. They got more pictures. Yeah, these are not great, guys. So it's this one, but yeah, it's this one here. Yeah, see, I think this looks better than those official, quote unquote, official pictures. So yeah, they come in a nice box and everything, and it's not too bad. Let me see. Can we see who who makes these? Whoops. Does anybody know the actual manufacturer? I mean, it says Spirit Halloween. I don't know. Does Spirit Halloween actually produce these ones? They just buy out from somebody else. Um. Anyway, these are it, and there's a Vader too. So yeah, they were not bad. Like I said, for a display, you can always weather it. You can always do more stuff, and especially for $50, I think it's a pretty good deal. Um, so here's what that looks like. Like I said, it's a nice presentation. I think it comes in a box. Um, so yeah, here it just says Spirit Halloween. Does anybody know who actually manufactures those? Mm, I don't know. It says Spirit Halloween. Do they actually manufacture some of their stuff or most of their stuff? I know they subcontract, right? But anyway, this is the helmet, and once again, I think for $50, for a display piece, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Bu-bu-bum. They were mostly after the Stormtrooper helmets. They were mostly after the Storm. Yeah, because I mean, like I said, for the Stormtrooper, you can do a bunch of stuff, right? For $50, I wouldn't feel bad, if my weathering doesn't come out quite right on that thing, or if I want to chop it up and make like a zombie Stormtrooper, or paint it black, or et cetera, or even red, right? Like that's not bad. Um, Yo, look who it is. We got Chris, the captain of the Nerd Squadron. What is up, Bunker Bunch? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining, man. Let's open up that R2. Yeah, dude, I'm ready. I'm ready. I was just telling everybody that I just got it literally like 3 hours ago. So I'm pretty excited. Yeah, I need to film that. I should at least make 50 cents on that video, to offset the $324 that I spent on it. It's math, right? It balances out. Big John says, I'm gonna be honest with you. The Black Series ticket helmets are better. The Black Series, dude, I like the Black Series ones. There's one right there, and I got the other one. I got the Shadow Trooper, I got the Mortar or Artillery, I should say, and I got the where is it? The OG, just white. The OG white one is really good. Like I actually do like it. Hey, Nerd Squadron says OBP. He is awesome. Says Nerd Squadron. Yeah, dude. I was telling everybody that I hesitated for like 2 minutes about getting it because I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, I wasn't prepared to spend that money right now. But at the same time, like, dude, they've been flying off. Like, they've been very popular. So I just went ahead and pulled the trigger. Yeah, Spirit subs out stuff, but it's all them. Gotcha. Okay. Wow, 50 cents on a video, big time RPM guy. I'm rounding up to the nearest 50 cents. What's up, OBP Kenobi? Says Chris from the Nerd Squadron. Yeah, no, I don't. I'll be happy to do 50 cents on a video. I don't think many people realize how little YouTube pays out. Michelle says, "Do you have ollies?" I do, but my ollies is like stagnant. Yeah, it's if you're looking for a specific figure, sorry, that they carry, it is great because they're gonna have a ton, and they're gonna be in great shape. That's what I tell everybody. Their figures are always like almost mint, like the mintiest I've seen per volume, in any store, right? That's not a collectible store. I mean, like at Walmart, Target, they're nowhere near as mint as they are at Ollie's, but nobody wants them. Nobody wants those figures. So if you do customs and stuff like that, dude, hit up Ollie's. Like they got great stuff at great shape. Again, if you're an inbox collector and you actually want stuff that's there at Ollie's, pick it up. Figures are like $10 and they're in great shape. Like the box is great, almost no creases. The bubbles are normally really good. But again, it's been ages since I've actually picked up anything from Ollie's. Now, this is a good season because they are doing more restock, especially on the toys, and some people have found some pretty decent Black Series stuff lately. But yeah, mine hasn't gotten much in, it seems like, months. Nerds Quarantine has got a mod mine so that he works without the base. Oh, let me know how that works. I'm very interested on that one. Not kidding. Let me know. I found stuff there all the time. You know what I've noticed that Alice is really good for? Whenever I have local events, I always like to take a little, Star Wars stuff for like free giveaways, especially when I know that there's gonna be kids. I always like to, uh, uh, make them, excited, right? They leave with something that's Star Wars. So Alice is really good for picking up like some of the books and some of the coloring books. They have like little comics and stuff like that, and they're fairly cheap, like $2-3. So you can pick up, 10 of those and have a nice little stack for events like that. So, which reminds me, I need to start doing that for ForceCon. By the way, Big John, you and I need to talk. By the way, I think Ross outbid Alice on the cool collectibles this year. Oh, by far. At least here in the area, they don't compare. That's all they got. They got to learn. But hey, guys, before we leave, I do want to talk about Spacecon. So Spacecon 2025 happened almost 2 weeks now, and it was a great event. We had a pretty good turnout. Huge cast of guests, and a lot of people. So I did a small walkthrough video. It's up on the channel if you guys want to check it out, just so you get an idea and lay of the land. How it is on on the floor, really, at Spacecon. But I had a crazy experience. All right. So I got to, they entrusted me with two panels this year at Spacecon. One was with my good buddy, whom I've actually talked to before, Daniel Logan, right, who played young Boba Fett in several things. First, Attack of the Clones, then Clone Wars, Book of Boba Fett, etc. And so I had a panel with him. It was actually the very first panel of the entire show. It was on a Friday, and it was at like at 1:30 p.m. So I'm not gonna say there was a huge turnout for that one because things were barely kicking off for the show. But if I do say so myself, I think it was a good panel. Big John, who was here in the chat, he was there in his vendor booth, and he was very close to the stage, so maybe he can tell you more realistically if it was or not. But it was a good chat. It was a good panel, and Daniel is great. He seemed to recognize me, and again, I actually hosted one of his panels like 2 days, sorry, 2 years ago, over in Corpus Christi. And however, that was a weird time because it was during the Actors Guild strike. So that panel could not be photographed and could not be recorded. It was a weird experience for me because it was like the second panel I had ever done, and we couldn't really, like, I don't really have much proof, that I did that panel. We couldn't talk about Star Wars, which was, great. Um, but this time around, I think we had a great conversation. He's shared some great stories, about filming, about the plot for episode 3, that he was going to be a part of. And he's genuinely very cool. We're also very close in age. I think he's like a couple of years younger than I am. So thank you to that for Daniel Logan, um, for being cool, and hanging out too, and for taking some nice pictures with me. He was actually very nice. So I was like, hey, would you mind if we grab a picture? And he's like, yeah, but let's go outside because the lighting is a lot better. He's like, so backstage it's all dark. There's like no lights almost, and so yeah, we came out with this really good looking picture right here. So I don't know. I count that we're pretty much best buds now. But so last year I was lucky enough to host Matt Wood's panel at Spacecon. This year, they entrusted me with 2 panels, and one of them was Daniel Logan, and I'm very grateful for it because it was almost a second bite of the apple, if I look at it that way. Like I said, I had the opportunity to interview him or to host his panel when the strike was going on. So that was weird. So this was kind of like what that panel should have been back then, 2 years ago. But the other one, guys, the other one um, was kind of a dream come true. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit more there so you can see it better. So I don't even know what to say. I was lucky. I was privileged. I was entrusted with leading the discussion for the Battlestar Galactica reunion panel. Um, you guys, you all have been here for quite a bit, so you know that I like Battlestar Galactica. I don't lie about that, but I don't talk about it, that much. But it is one of my absolute favorite shows ever. All right, ever. I'm not exaggerating. I have a small collection, which I should take a picture and I'll post it, this weekend, so you guys can see. I don't collect officially. I do have a couple of things. Anyway, so they had a ton of guests, obviously for Battlestar Galactica, and they had a reunion panel. So um, when I heard they're doing that, I was like, dude, I don't know who is leading that one, like who you guys will be given the moderator. But I told him, but I can do it right now. I mean, you walk me up on stage in 2 minutes and I will give you a Battlestar Galactica panel. That's just how much of a fan I am. All right. And I rarely do this, guys. Like you know me, I'm not like, no, I got this. But this one I was like, dude, if you haven't decided for that panel, I gotta throw in my name in the hat, or whatever the correct expression is. And I guess, yeah, I guess they believe me. And I got it. I got it, guys. So um I got to host the Battlestar Galactica reunion panel with uh Jamie Bamber, with Grace Park, with Tamo Panikit, um and I mean, Edward James Olmos, dude. Edward James freaking Olmos. Uh, that was insane. All right. That man has a presence that I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Um, I mean, I've been in the presence of George Lucas, very recently, Mark Hamill, right? Ewan McGregor last year, we got to hang out a little bit behind stage, this very stage, by the way. Um, but Edward James almost just has this, like, I don't respect. I don't know, that just follows him around. He talks and people shut up, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, I mean, they genuinely stop and listen, and it was incredible. It was yeah, it was crazy to see other well-established actors, right, who've been acting for 20 plus years now, and they still look at him like, please teach me. And so there I am, uh geeking out, or actually trying not to geek out. They got there a little bit late to the panel, and this was the longest panel of the show, since there were so many people. This was the longest panel in terms of time slot. But we had to keep things moving because there was panels after it. So I was there backstage. They wouldn't show up. They were wrangling everybody. They showed up a little bit late, so I basically didn't really have time to chat with them before the panel, which, now that I think about it, might have been a good thing, because I would have fangirled really hard, you know, uh, or harder, I should say, than what it was. So I basically greeted everybody. They were all saying hi to each other. And then I was like, guys, we need to get up there. So I got up on stage, introduced them. They all went out. Now, sh- shout out to Shirley, who was helping us, because they did it a little bit different this time, on the panel stage, where we had this tables, and each table had names on them, right, for like seating. Which, by the way, I stole mine. I stole my name, because yeah, I don't know that this will ever happen. So I stole it anyway. Not the point. The point is that she's like, okay, you're gonna go all the way to the end, and she's like, do you want this in any particular order, like any of the actors? I was like, can I have Edward James Olmos sit next to me? And she's like, absolutely, kid. Here you go. And she places down the name. So shout out to her. Uh, Made my freaking year with that. He is, like I said, he's just incredible. He's so good. He's funny. He is up there in age, so he's very soft spoken, right? So you can't really hear him that much anymore. Yet at the same time, he still has that voice, like I said, it's just, he really is like a commander. He really is kind of like a father. Um, and so it was great hearing all those stories. Again, for one of my absolute favorite shows ever. Um, and I don't know if I said this before, but if not, guys, if you haven't seen Battlestar Galactica, the 2003, um, go watch the miniseries. All right, the miniseries is like, what is that? It's about a movie's worth, right? So go watch the miniseries. It's technically 3 episodes, and I think most of you will be hooked. All right, I think most of you will be hooked, and you're gonna watch the entire show. The show is not that long. It's 4, maybe 5 seasons. I should know this better, but it's not that long. But it's very, very good. All right, I cannot recommend it enough. So if you guys are looking for a new show, or something to sink your teeth on, Battlestar Galactica 2003. All right, trust me on this one. It's really good. Okay, so there so the character that Grace Park portrays, who's her in the middle, she's also in Hawaii Five O, by the way, for several seasons. My mom texted me. She's like, "Hey, you were with, I forget her name, from Hawaii Five O." She's like, "That's one of my favorite shows." My mom is heavily into the CSI uh, type of shows, so she's like, "Oh, you were with her? Like, no way." I completely had forgotten that she's in that show. She did that show after this one. So I was like, all right. So I'm getting kudos from my mom, at least. um, but so I was gonna ask her a question, because technically she plays several characters in the show, and they are all Cylons. So they are all, sort of enemies of the humans. And so as I'm formulating the question, I'm like, so Grace, you portray, and then I turn over to the um, to the audience and I say, spoilers, guys, I'm sorry, you portray several Cylons, and the audience kind of chuckled, but freaking Edward James Olmos, who didn't have his microphone on, right, like he had set it down, he just goes, good one. And I almost lost it, guys. Like, I almost freaking lost it. Like, Edward James almost just freaking said, he laughed at something that I said, and that was everything. Right? That was, yeah. Never would I have thought that something like this would happen. Um, we also had another kind of funny moment where, well, it was funny to me. Like I said, Edward, he's up there in age. He also wasn't doing that great health wise not that long ago. So at some point, it's hard on a big panel like this with so many people because I don't want to leave anybody out. So I'm kind of hitting up each of the cast members, right? Um, Guys, I can do 6 hours just with Edward James Olmos, right? I mean, come on, the dude's a freaking living legend. But I'm trying to get everybody their time. And so I forget who exactly. I think it was Tomo. He was answering my question. And I just see Edward James almost just like pop something out of his ear and then pop something out of his like pocket. And it was like a tiny thing. And I just see him kind of like, fiddling with it and like take it apart and then open a little package. And at this point, I realize he's changing the battery to his hearing aid, like right there in the middle of the panel. And he's taking his time too. I mean, he's Edward James Olmos, right? He ain't gonna hurry for nobody. So I just see him plop up the old battery, put in the new one, close it up with like so much finesse. And then he finally like closes it up, he turns it on, and he goes like bloop back into his ear. And I was like, were you hearing what I was asking like at all? Like a minute ago? I don't know. I don't know. But if he wasn't, he can read lips because he did great. So, um, yes, I just wanted to share with you my excitement. It was so good. Okay, it was definitely a highlight of my geek, uh, 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 how do you call it? Journey, I guess. And I'm super thankful, super thankful for Bob, who is the showrunner for Spacecon, for putting faith in me, and especially to Ted from the Countdown City Geeks for telling Bob, he's like, hey, you should really give this guy a shot with Battlestar Galactica reunion panel. Thank you. I hope I didn't disappoint you guys. I can say that I had a freaking blast, at this panel. Um, the audience, actually a couple of the people in the audience talked to me afterwards, and they seem to have enjoyed it. So I'm glad. Trust me, there was 1,000 questions they were left just on my notes. I wish, I could have gone through at least a few more questions with them, but there's just too many of them and not enough time. All right. So if you guys are fans of Battlestar Galactica, I do encourage you to go watch my video. I have the whole panel, the whole reunion panel on the channel right now. And I'm not saying that because, go watch my video. Although, I've made 27 cents on it. So a couple more views wouldn't hurt. But, there's generally some good stories in there. So forget about me. If you don't like me, that's fine. But just listen to them. Listen to the cast. Listen to their stories. And listen to how much love they still talk about, Battlestar. Like, it's kind of nuts. It's been, over 20 years. And they're still very fond of the show. So yes, I wanted to jump on here and talk to you guys about my experience and share it with you, Bunker Bunch, because you guys are awesome and you're basically my family. and this was a very, very important moment, in my life. So thank you for anybody that has watched. Thank you for anybody that commented. Thank you to some of you, by the way, who reached out, once I announced that I was going to be hosting this panel. um, I got nothing but love, really, and encouragement. So thank you for that. It means the world to me that you guys would trust me with something like this. Some of y'all, are hardcore fans, obviously, and you expressed some of the things that you wanted to hear from them. But like I said, there's just not enough time, and so it's a finding the balance, right, between being entertaining and still getting some good content out of for the panel. um, so let me jump here into the chat. Sorry, guys. I know I just been blabbering on, but like I said, I've been gushing over this for a while. Do, 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 do. We got here we go. We got Sexy Flex in the house. Sup, mi general. Sup, Bunker Bunch. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you joining, man. Flex Michelle says Janine. Hey, Captain Flex says OBP. Hey, Niner says Flexi. Hey, Janine. Hey, E says Michelle. OBP says Flex. And Michelle says that Daniel's so cool. He's so loving to his fan. He really is. He really is. And he surprised me because he's like, hey, Jose, good to see you again. I'm like, I don't know if they just told you my name, but it was very nice for him to at least pretend that he remembers me. OBP says, congrats on hosting some great panels. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Very cool, says Janine. Hart says Archer. Congratulations. Thank you, man. That was epic, dude. Yeah, like I said, it's insane. That's so cool. I loved it too. Nice. I'm glad. Congratulations. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate it. Wow, that's awesome. Iconic moment. Thank you, brother. Yeah, it really was so very cool, says Janine. Thank you. So yeah, guys, again, the panel is up on the channel if you want to check it out. The audio is not the best because it is in a open, there's multiple speakers and that kind of stuff, but you can still make out pretty well what they are saying. So I do highly encourage you to check it out. Also, before we leave today, guys, I want to share with you that we do have a new channel membership tier here on General Economics Bunker. It's called Bunker Buddies, and it's only 99 cents a month. Set it up for your consideration. If you so choose to support the channel, you will still get access to exclusive content. The latest stuff that I put out is actually the boys panel with Homelander and Ryan. And let me show you guys that. Now I kind of had to put it up for members only. Don't think that I'm, gatekeeper or anything like that. But the problem is that Anthony Starr is a little bit of a potty mouth, so I couldn't really do much with it on a public setting, but it's a fun panel, so I didn't really want to leave it out, as in, not publish it. So I put it up, for members only. So this is it right here. So again, if you guys are so inclined to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you consider it. Again, 99 cents a month, and you get access to exclusive content like this one. Like I said, this is the full panel for Anthony Starr and Cameron Crevetti, who plays Homelander, and Ryan Butcher from The Boys. It was pretty good. And some of the audience questions were really good. So I do, hope that you get to see this. So yeah, again, just wanted to let you know that we do have that channel membership available for a lower price at 99 cents a month. So thank you if you end up getting it. Thank you if you don't. No worries. I would just greatly appreciate it if you can support the channel in other ways, like commenting, sharing, watching the videos, leaving likes and all that stuff. Also, I would greatly appreciate it if you check us out over on social media, on Facebook, General Economics Barker, all one word. We are also on Instagram, general.kenobis.bunker. We are also on TikTok at general_kenobis_bunker and on Threads. That's right, kids. We're cool at general.kenobis.bunker. So please follow us all over social media so that you know when we are posting new videos, when when I spent over $300 on a life size R2D2 like tonight, and when we are gonna go live, just like we did tonight, guys. And once again, I want to say thank you so much for all of y'all for showing up because I gave you guys like an hour of a heads up. Like I said, it's been some crazy days lately, but this felt really good. I always appreciate you guys taking the time for um, tuning in, chatting with us, letting me know that you guys are still part of the Bunker Bunch. So um thank you again. Let me catch up here with the last comments. um where do you go for that? For the memberships, Janine, you can actually, you know what, I can just drop the link, um if that's easier for you. Do, 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 do. If I can find it. What did I do? Okay, let me go another way. Yeah, I'll drop it into the chat right meow. Yeah, but once again, guys, I hope that your week keeps going great. I hope that you all have a great weekend. It's shopping time, guys. If you haven't bought all of your Christmas presents, I would say you probably want to start, um, you probably want to start getting that done. It's getting kind of crazy out there, guys. So there's the link right there on the chat. If you guys again are so inclined, I would greatly appreciate it if you consider subscribing to the channel, or I should say, becoming a member of the channel. So, Michelle says, "May the force with you." Thank you, Michelle. It's good to see you. Appreciate you joining. Night, friends. Good night. Yes, says Janine. Yes, thank you, Janine. It's right there in the chat. You should be able to just click on it. So, thank you again, everybody. Really appreciate y'all. This was super fun. I hope to start, being more consistent with the live streams again. We need to bring some guests back, before the end of the year. And we got some good events coming up for next year. I don't think I have any more cons this year, which is good because yikes. But we already got a few ones. Remember, ForceCon here in San Antonio, May 16, 17. Remember Rebels Con uh, in oh my lord, why am I blanking? I'm too sober for this. In next year, in August, I believe, we also have the ICCC in June. So, and Spacecon in June as well. Actually, this year, next year they changed it because it was in October the last 2 years. So the next Spacecon will be in June, guys. I do encourage you, if you guys, collect photo ops or autographs, Spacecon is really good for that. Like they bring a ton of guests. So with that, I bid you everybody good night. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great rest of the week. Have an awesome weekend. And I will catch you on the next one. Love y'all. Good night.